What's new in OnBase 25.1? There are big updates, better tools, and more. OnBase 25.1 was released in February of 2025, so just last month, and is Hyland's current version. My name is Cailen Myers. I am a principal consultant for RPI Consultants. We're thrilled to have you here with us today. Over the next 30 minutes or so, we'll walk through some exciting new features, some enhancements, and the latest version of Hyland OnBase, focusing on how these updates can benefit your organization. We'll have a Q&A session at the end, so feel free to type in those questions throughout this presentation into that chat box, and we will get to those. Let's just take a quick look at our agenda for today. We're going to do an overview of the Hyland OnBase 25.1, go over some user experiences, how to make things better, administrative tools, enhanced integrations, learning a little bit more, and a Q&A session. So without further ado, let's just dive right on in. Officially released on February 18th, 2025 is Foundations 25.1. This does include 34 initiatives, which were resulting in hundreds of enhancements. We won't be able to get through all those hundreds today, but definitely take a look at some of them, the major ones. It's important to note that OnBase 25.1 is an annual release version, which means that it's considered a major release and is supported for 2 years of active maintenance in the form of a monthly service release. First, enhancements that enhance our user experience with OnBase 25.1. Here are our top 3 areas of improvement when it comes to the user experience. First up, OnBase Workview, our low-code case management application builder. There are 2 major areas of enhancements: the responsive panels and anything you would like to drop into a panel like a card, and then the display template enhancements. First, Hyland enhanced the Workview panels to be responsive to the form factors and different device sizes. This allows OnBase apps that include Workview objects to scale better to smaller screens, which are shown here in Workview with OnBase App Builder, but available in mobile, web, and any of the views of Workview. Second, new with Workview, Hyland also added to be able to manage display templates from a central location and use these display templates on views. So as you notice, this is a display template, which is showing up in OnBase Studio. You can customize your views. You can add display templates as content, use new client-side enabled modern field styles, and new methods can be added at a view level to only apply to views or screens for a specific class and or through global scripts to affect all views and screens. Admins also have the ability to add, modify, or delete display templates from one central location in OnBase Studio. New template management dialog that enables administrators to view all display templates in systems, as well as create, modify, and delete those templates. The Workview objects displayed in OnBase app with a fully customized view using display templates. This is an example of a display template using the custom display method to modernize the UI and make it more like Hyland UI and or OnBase apps experience. Now we turn to OnBase App Builder, which was first released in Foundations 23.1. OnBase App Builder is a single source layout, Workview single objects, full text search for custom queries, Workview user filter prompts. You can now display related items and so much more. As a reminder, support for WorkView with App Builder was added with OnBase Foundation 24.1, but the upcoming list that we're going to go over does explain the 25.1 items demonstrated with how they are further enhanced. There now is a UI refresh. This allows the source on the screen to reflect the current state of the data without having to manually refresh the page. In OnBase Foundation 25.1, you now will be able to support users entered tickets, search criteria, constraints from WorkView filters. There's also been added end user filter, which prompts where the end user can enter the data as they need within the WorkView application. You'll also see here in the picture, you can now access related items, and you can also take action on those items. This is what it looked like in 24.1. And this is now what it looks like in 25.1. Display templates are existing features of WorkView used to create custom HTML notifications, templates, and reports that have been exposed as part of the object viewer or view designer to enable this level of customization. New client-side API capabilities were added to support seamless integration as well. So this is all part of the same object as the prior two slides. This does showcase how you can how you can render the results of an embedded filter in a more streamlined user experience. In this example, it is the same filter rendered in two different forms, list and calendar view, but it doesn't have to be the same filter. But not responsive to phones. We are getting closer and closer with each release. So keep in mind, it's all how it's configured, as well as WorkView apps with wide views, lots of tabs, aren't going to look that great on a tablet. Next up is our OnBase web client. This is a very important client to review. Hyland is working on making the web client more feature-friendly and functional for our end users. We have three major areas of enhancements: single window mode admin control options, text report viewer features, and line and freehand annotations. Single window view mode. The first iteration was in OnBase Foundation 23.1, which you can see there are some of the changes that were made. Then in OnBase 24, there are some additional changes, and now in OnBase 25.1, there is an admin option to turn this on and off for all users, and then there's options to lock down settings and allow users to change the default settings. And this is a view of OnBase Web Application Management Console, also known as WAMCON, where you can go ahead and change the single window mode. New in Foundation 25.1, the single window mode has a new admin control setting found in self-service configuration feature in the cloud portal, which is shown here. So if you are a cloud client, this is how you would go ahead and change that setting. Okay, so next is our web client text report viewer. First, the web client now has a feature to display a green bar if the document type is configured to show the green bar and the user has enabled this option for their preferences. The web client will allow you to now display it, making these text-heavy reports a lot easier to read. You can see here where the option is to go ahead and display those green bars to be able to show them on your document. The web client text report viewer also has cross-reference. Users can now activate a cross-reference by clicking on a specific character in the text report, enabling the retrieval of multiple documents from a single report. So you can see there, if I click on one of those, it now opens up my cross-reference documents. Users will have the ability to use two new annotation types, a line, which is often used as a strike-through, and freehand annotations. The line and freehand annotations are also supported in the following clients as listed on the screen. This is an example of your freehand annotations. You can also add it on a PDF document, on images. Okay, moving right along, let's review some of the administrative tools, which is probably why you guys all joined this webinar. Here are our top admin tools that were improved in OnBase Foundations 25.1. Our Unity Forms, our admin portal, and OnBase Studio. There is one major enhancement for Unity Forms. These are for our responsive Unity forms. So there are new template options, there are different test drive mode display options, and controls that will be supported. In the Unity Form Designer, you'll see that there is a new option to optimize for these multiple device sizes. So if you're using a mobile phone, a tablet, or a desktop, you can go ahead and allow your forms to be optimized for those different devices and those different sizes. Right on the top of your Unity form, you will see that message letting you know that this form has been optimized for those different device sizes. When you enter in the test drive mode, this is a really nice feature. You can select the different device that you are test driving in, and that will allow you to see what the screen would look like. Another new feature in the Unity form, or I should say an updated feature, is the new date picker. So you'll notice our date picker is going to change. This is to make it more accessible. And lastly, you'll notice there is word wrapping of long labels that will change versus the display size you're on. Looking at our standard Unity forms, you'll notice that there are no form optimizations on this form. The option to select your different device sizes are grayed out. And there is just the standard date picker available. The next area to speak about is our OnBase admin portal, also referenced as OAP. The OnBase admin portal is a web-based interface that allows system admins to manage and configure settings within OnBase. I did talk a little bit about this in the OnBase 24.1 webinar. This is a newer feature, so I'm sure a lot of you have not used it or seen it yet. It's definitely something to look into. So the new enhancements for OnBase Foundation 25.1, there are 3 different enhancements there. The environmental value management, overwrite protection, and copy actions. So the EVM, environment value management, allows admins to be able to manage their environment values, specifically value sets and standalone values, as well as import value templates. These are formerly standalone values. They're directly from web-based applications, and they're making it easier and quicker to configure and manage variables between the different environments. This is an overview of the protections. So this prevents users from changing the information of the same object at the same time. So if you've ever noticed before when you're in the OnBase configuration client, you may be making a change to a document type or a keyword, and at the exact same time, your coworker may be making a different change and you're not aware of those changes. Now with using the OAP, you actually get a message that this object cannot be updated or modified because it is already being viewed by somebody else. Also, admins can save a copy of the configuration object as a save as new or save as option, which drastically reduces the amount of time it takes for admins to create and set up configurations. This is huge and covers all objects that currently exist in the OnBase admin portal. This does include things like users, user groups, keyword types, document type groups, so on and so forth. And lastly, our OnBase Studio. You'll notice that the theme has been updated to look similar to the Unity client. So before you had kind of that bluish background. Now everything is white. This theme refresh will improve your readability of the text labels, as well as make things a little bit crisper in that UI element. This is throughout the client, so including the data grids, the workflows, the wizards, toolboxes, again, so on and so on. You'll notice that everything now has this white background. And then our last area to discuss will be our enhanced integrations. This is a list of some of the integrations with OnBase 25.1. We're not going to be able to cover all these today in our half-hour session, so please feel free to reach out if you want more information on some of these. But let's go ahead and take a dive into our AP automation. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this solution integrates with your ERP to capture and validate invoices, manage exceptions, maintain a tight integration for data exchange and document retrieval. There are 3 primary enhancements with the 25.1. They include new role-tailored UI for AP. This is compliant of OnBase App Builder. An automated learning engine plugin for Brainware to improve those OCRs with the additional machine learning. And new unified validation and coding interface, bringing those 2 touch points together into one. The OnBase App Builder brings a new primary UI to the AP automation with a simplified layout that's designed specifically for those AP users. OnBase AP solutions are presented as modern web apps, providing intuitive experiences that include workflow, reporting, queries, forms, and the ability to upload content. Users will see the information and options they care about through streamlined views of the content and functionality that is relevant to their role. So this is your OnBase App Builder with the intuitive AP-specific dashboard. You can see those familiar OnBase App Builder dashboards with an AP focus. By clicking the processing view, we see our invoice processing queue. This AP UI will be rolled out in phases with Workday, Deltek, and Oracle, and any ERP available now. SAP and Infor Lesson S3 is in progress and hopefully should be ready later this year. Next in AP, they have introduced automated learning engine plugins for Brainware to improve those OCR additional machine learning functions. There's data corrections made in OnBase that are automatically fed back to Brainware for continuous learning and improved instructions. And because it gets smarter, the more documents it sees, invoices that have once been stopped for data extraction, issues will process straight through. And last for AP, a unified verifier that allows all data validation, coding, and processing to happen within a single OnBase screen, no longer requiring them to be addressed in Brainware or any other application. Essentially turning two touch points into one, but with continued communication with Brainware, ensuring continued learning on the Brainware front. Up next, we're going to speak just a little bit about the SAP archive link. The first enhancement, which was a customer request, extended Hyland's SAP archive link connector to support the SAP Cloud Platform Integration Service, or CPI. CPI is an integration platform as a service offering from SAP that enables organizations to connect different systems, applications, and data sources. This expands opportunities to leverage SAP archive link integration across different customer deployments and scenarios. There is a new administrative screen to modernize the overall user experience, which does leverage Hyland UI to unify the look and feel with the rest of the Hyland suites. Rebuilt as a separate service, decoupled from the archive link code, making it easier to maintain and update. Compliance with accessibility requirements and standards, new views for certifications, and new way of activating them. You can see what the old UI looked like versus the new. Both enhancements require OnBase Foundations 25.1 and the OnBase integration for SAP Archive Link license, and the admin updates also require a Hyland Identity Service. Our next integration is Hyland M365 Office Outlook Add-in 2.0. Add-ins for web-based version of Outlook. These allow you to both import and index emails and attachments into OnBase. You also have the capability to add in folder mapping. In this release, they've added automated indexing capabilities by the way of allowing you to map data from the email to keyword fields on your document type in OnBase. If all the keyword fields are mapped and no user input is required, the message is automatically imported and indexed accordingly as soon as the import message action is clicked. If there is user input required on the mapping configuration, then the user is prompted to enter values for that specific field. You can see it here on the side of the screen. There's also a new tab in the admin page for add-ins, which was added to create folder mappings. Configuring folder mappings allow existing Outlook folders to automatically import and index email messages into your Hyland repository when a message in that Outlook folder, and users then click the import message action. Folder mappings are global user configurations, so if you are going to use it, keep in mind that those are global. And when you're configuring your folder mappings for existing Outlook folders, which allow you to automatically import and index email messages into your Hyland repository when a message is in that Outlook folder and the user clicks that import message action. These are the requirements for the Hyland Outlook M365 2.0 added. And then we're going to go ahead and take a quick look into healthcare. So sorry if some of you are not healthcare clients, but I did want to touch a little bit on that integration for Epic. So these include updates to both our clinical, complete, and return, as well as our hyperdrive and security. First off, some of the updates for the clinical, complete, and return lifecycle, which do include making the process digital, adding automation to that process. Updates to the workflow now support auto assignment of the acknowledgement request, reducing that manual interface and interactions with documents. Users can mark requests to bypass final review, and additionally, 2 new workflow rules have been added. One of them is to check, One of them is to check physician acknowledgement exists, and the other one is check physician acknowledgement status. Due to the feedback from early adopters, the integration for Hyland Epic Hyperdrive, Hyland is targeting improvements to perform, interoperability, and security. All the enhancements are included in the integration for Epic license, and you can learn more about those by checking out the OnBase Foundation 25.1 release training at Hyland University. So why upgrade? We've already talked about some of these items: user experience, the administrative tools, and those enhanced integrations. Taking a little bit of a deeper dive in some of those items that we discussed. There's many reasons to upgrade. Just to recap a few of them: our workview, our Unity forms, those big releases to the OnBase app builder, the improvements to our admin tools, new integrations, and so much more. So if you're interested in upgrading, or you heard something on this webinar today and you would like to know more about it, please feel free to reach out to us here at RPI Consultants. We're able to do consult for you, do any personalized demos if there's something you would like to see. And then, of course, we're always a partner that you can trust and work well with. So thank you for your attention today. We hope you're excited about these new features as we are. We're going to move on to our Q&A session. Please type in your questions in that chat box and we'll address them one by one. Give you all a few minutes to do that, and I'll start reviewing some of the questions you have already entered. Great. So one of our questions right now is, when did the OnBase admin portal first come out? It was actually available in OnBase 22.1. So if you do have Foundations 22.1, you should go ahead and give that a look. Great. And our second question is, do we have to upgrade to 25.1 for the Outlook M365 integration? You do not need to upgrade to 25.1. The Outlook 365 integration was available in Foundation 23.1. However, if you do want that 2.0 add-in, you would, yes, have to upgrade to the 25.1. If there's any other questions that we did not answer, we will send an email with those responses for you all. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any further questions or would like a personalized demo, please don't hesitate to contact us at questions@rpic.com. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks again, and we look forward to helping you with your OnBase Hyland 25.1 upgrade. Thank you, everyone.